Welcome back! My name is Baller Scuba. This is Video Games Over Time. We are still in 1983, and we are still in Wizardry 3. When we last left off, we went through the backstory, a little bit of behind the scenes, and we went through the physical items for Ultima III as a dragon destroys an entire party. We are finally ready to get into the game itself, but I will say right now that we are not going to get far into the game. There's still a lot to cover about this game before we can actually get into some serious gameplay. We have to create a party, we have to kind of investigate a little bit, talk about some more aspects of the manual that we didn't cover before. So today we're probably not going to get super far into the game. Probably going to create our party, get into the game, explore the first town, and that's about it. But before we get into that, I did want to talk about the version of the game that I am playing here. The version of the game is not technically an original version, it is a patched version of the game. The patch that I'm using is the Ultima III upgrade patch. I believe that I'm using patch version 3.3. There's just a lot of threes today. This version of the patch, or at least this patch in general, is aimed towards creating the best version of the original game as possible. What ended up happening is that there were several different versions, each with their strong suits and each with their weak points. So the version of this patch, this patch is kind of geared toward combining all the best aspects of all the different versions of the game together into one version. You might notice the music. The music was present in some of the versions and not others. So the Apple II version, Commodore 64 version, those all had this kind of music to it. But the original PC or DOS version had no sound whatsoever. So the idea is to try to bring all that together. The graphics are slight upgrades. I'm sure that the sound also got a bit of cleaning up as well. So it's probably slightly better than, the combination of everything that was available at the time, but this is the version of the game that we will be playing moving forward. In terms of graphics, we're basically just talking the color scheme, but everything else should match what we have been playing and what was available at the time. Alright, so we have fully looped around here. It is time to get into the game. From the depths of hell, he comes for vengeance! And we start with three options. We can return to the view. That means to go back to what we were just looking at. We can organize a party. That's where we actually have to go. And we can journey onward, which we might be able to do once we actually get a party together. Now, much like Wizardry, we are going to have to create a party before we can get into the game itself. You're going to see some influences of the Wizardry series in this game. So let's go ahead and organize a party to start here. We will start by examining the register. And just like in Wizardry 3, where you don't have anything to start, we basically start from scratch on this one. All right, let me pull up all the information that I'm going to need to talk about the things that I want to talk about. Okay, I think we're good. We will start by creating a character. And we're going to put him in entry number 1. I say him because it's going to be a guy. Okay, so entry number 1, you might notice that we have 50 points. That is not random. That is a set amount of points that you get every time you create a character. I personally like that because in Wizardry, I was constantly resetting and restarting and trying again, trying to get the exact amount of points that I needed to create the characters that I wanted. That's not going to happen in this game. You just always get 50. So it's a time saver for me. But if you're looking for that ultimate party, you might miss that aspect of it. To be honest, I'm not going for an ultimate party right now anyway. There's a lot of ideas of what that would constitute, constitute an ultimate party in Ultima 3. I'm not going for that. There are better parties out there. I'm going for something that has a bit of variety and is probably more typical of what a new person to the game would kind of go for. So, our first character is going to be Aragorn. We did not have an Aragorn in our previous Wizardry playthroughs, but I am a huge Tolkien fan, so makes sense for me to continue going down that road. So we're going to have Aragorn. Now, sex is kind of interesting because as far as I recall, there's no difference in terms of how your character ends up because of their sex. But you do have options. You can do male, you can do female, you can even do other. We will probably do, at least one of each of those. But Aragorn canonically is male, so we will stick with that. Now we get to race. Now, I mentioned in the previous video that there were 5 races to choose from. Many of them will sound very familiar. We have human, elf, dwarf, bobbit, and fuzzy. So, human, elf, dwarf, we have seen those before. Bobbit is a play on hobbit, right? So it's just a hobbit, just by another name to get around the Tolkien estate not liking people using the word hobbit. But bobbit is essentially a hobbit. Then there's a fuzzy, and I have looked quite a bit through a few different versions of the manual, trying to figure out what's a fuzzy, and there's nothing. There's a picture, and hopefully I remember to put the picture up here. The 2 small characters towards the middle, the really small ones, those are fuzzies. Those look like possibly gnomes to me. Maybe that's what they're going for, but they call them fuzzies. Not entirely sure what they are supposed to represent. Gnome is my best guess based on the picture alone. Now, the point of the race is to not only help you create a character with a backstory and things like that, but also to give you the maximum attributes or stats that you can have for each character. So you do want to kind of plan accordingly. Now, these are listed in the manual. Human is what we are going to go for. Aragorn is mostly human. Spoilers, kind of. But we do have human as kind of your default across the board average race. They are your versatile race, I guess you could go for if you're trying to be nice about it. They have a max of 75 points across the board. Every stat can go up to 75, but can only go up to 75. So it's kind of your all-around character. And that is what we are going to go for. We will talk about the other ones as I create them, and then we'll talk about the one that I am not creating, because obviously I can only make 4 characters, and there are 5 races, so there's going to be there's going to be one that I miss. In terms of type, now we are talking about your class. Now, your class is going to be much more important to how your character functions. There are 11 classes in the game. Those in total are Fighter, Cleric, Wizard, Thief, Paladin, Barbarian, Lark, Illusionist, Druid, Alchemist, and Ranger. And this is where you get a lot of people together trying to figure out what combination of 4 of these 11 are going to be the best in order to make the best and ultimate party. Some people say, have 2 of this and 2 of that, and that's the best out there because these are the 2 best classes. I don't want to go that way. I want to have 4 different classes, so that's what I'm going to go for. Aragorn here is going to be a ranger for me. Rangers are a good all-around character again. They can equip quite a few different pieces of armor and weaponry. They also have access to both of the spell types. There's basically your sorcery, which is your offensive magic, and then your prayers, which was kind of your cleric defensive healing magic. The rangers can do a bit of both, but they don't specialize in any one of them, and so the higher level stuff is going to be outside their range. But they can do a bit of both, so they're an overall well-rounded character. So it's a good place for me to start, I feel. Okay, so now we have strength. Strength is going to help with how much damage you deal. So because I kind of have Aragorn as kind of an offensive character in this party, we're going to put 20 of those 50 points into strength. Dexterity is also going to help with stealing and help with what weapons Aragorn's going to be good with. So I'm going to go with 20 there as well. Now we have intelligence. Intelligence is for your offensive magic, your sorcery spells. So we do want a little bit of that, but not a ton. So we're going to put 5 in there. And then you guessed it, wisdom is for your defensive and healing spells, your cleric spells. So we'll put a little bit there, but that will round out my 50. So 20, 25, 5. And then we get to okay. The answer to this one is yes. You have to type Y for yes. I don't know why. Like, just let me hit enter and call it a day. But yes, this is okay. So this is our first character, Aragorn, the male human ranger. Okay, so let's go to our next one. Our next one is going to be entry number 2. Now this one, I don't really know what I want to do. I feel that I have to, I'm going to be using a Tolkien name. I just don't know which one. Let's go with Samwise. Samwise Gamgee. He is going to be in this for us. So he is going to be male. Just makes sense. Because once again, we're sticking with canon characters so far. But the reason that I had to think about which character I was going to use is, well, because number 1, it's going to be a bobbit. Bobbits, they will max out at 75 strength, but only 50 dexterity, 75 intelligence, but they have the most wisdom of any class, that 99. They max out the wisdom. So because we do have a paladin that's going to be using some more of the prayer spells, the defensive spells, we want to be able to capitalize on that as best as we can with our wisdom stat. And so if you're going to be going for a wisdom-based character, right, the prayers character, then you're probably going to want a bobbit for that. All right, so what do we want to do? We want to go with a paladin. Now, the paladin is a pretty strong character. It is offensively powerful. They can use all weapons. They can use a lot of the armor as well. Most of the armor in the game a paladin can wear. But they do have access to the prayer spells. So it is, once again, kind of a more all-around character, not really specialized in just one thing. They're good at quite a few things. But as a result, we want to go with 20 strength because, once again, we're going to be using this as an offensive character. Honestly, Sam here might be our tank, but that's a term that we don't really know yet. So we'll get to that a bit later. Dexterity, we're going to go with 15. Intelligence, we're going to just go flat out 0. Oh, do I have to type it twice? Are they not going to let me put 0? They're not going to let me put 0. I should be able to get away with 0. They must have changed that. That must be a patch thing. Because I haven't played this version of the game, this patched version, so we'll go with 1. Are you going to make me put 5? And then 10? Are you going to force me to do that? That's not what I wanted to do at all. They might not allow you to do anything less than 5 in a stat. So let's try this again. We'll say no. And then we will examine, just make sure he's not there. Male human ranger. That's what that abbreviation stood for. Okay, so we'll do it again. Can I type in his full name? No. Okay, male bobbit paladin. 20. I guess we're going to have to kind of go through it. Then 2, 3, 4, 5 is the minimum. Okay. All right, we'll go with that. It's not really what I wanted. I wanted more in wisdom to start, but they're not letting me go through that. So, okay, sure. Not really what I was looking for, but it will do. Obviously, if there's a maximum and you can't get the maximum here, there are ways to increase your stats throughout the game. So we'll have to kind of work around that. Okay. Next up, we have character number 3. Character number 3, I have to think about again, because I don't know which character I want to go for. I want to go for a female elf, I feel. And we already used Galadriel, so Arwen seems like the natural place for me to go. We'll have Aragorn and Arwen together. I want you two to behave. That would be nice. So there are better characters for this in Tolkien's universe, but Arwen is the only female elf that I can think of off the top of my head right now that... You know what, actually? Luthien. Let's go with Luthien. I like Luthien. We'll leave Arwen outside the battle because she doesn't really get into fights in the story normally. But Luthien on the other hand. All right, so Luthien's going to be our female elf. No surprises there. Elf. They can max out at 75 strength, 99 dexterity, 75 intelligence, but only 50 wisdom. They're not healers in this game. I'm not entirely sure why. I've read the stories. So we're kind of moving away from Tolkien a bit, I feel, with this game, more than we have in other games. All right, so what kind of character am I going to use this time? Well, once again, there's a lot out there, but we are going to go with a thief. Now, the thief, as you might expect, is going to be disarming traps for us. Treasure chests are going to be a big deal here. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. They can use swords. They can only do leather armor, so we can't do the chain or the plate mail. But we can do quite a bit. No access to spells, the thief. Everyone else had access to spells, but Luthien does not, which is probably not in character, but this will work for now. Now, what I want to do is 25-25-0-0, but the game's not going to let me do that. So I'm going to do 20 strength, 20 dexterity. Yeah, you want kind of an offensive character here, and dexterity is what you want to boost in order to get your disarming traps to work better. Right, higher percentage of that. So we'll do 20, 20, 5, 5 because they're kind of forcing my hand on that one. Okay, so that's going to be good there. I don't have the specialized characters that I want because the game's not allowing me to do it, but you know, this will work. This will work for now. All right, so we have Luthien, the female elf thief. All right, last character. We are going to create a character here. Entry number 4. Name, because we're going to create a fuzzy here. So once again, kind of names are just, I'm not entirely sure. Because, you know, what kind of gnome name am I looking at? Every time I've done a gnome in the past, I've had to look it up. I think I'm going to continue that streak here, try to figure out a good name for whatever a fuzzy is, and I'll be back. All right, I did a little bit of research, and while I did say gnome, and a lot of people do say gnome, in later depictions of fuzzies, they look much more like Ewoks to me. So I looked up a couple Ewok names. I'm going to go with Chirpa. Chirpa was an Ewok in Return of the Jedi. So I don't remember which one, but that was the name that I liked the best. So we are going to go with Chirpa as an other for sex, and then we're going to go with Fuzzy. Like I said, fuzzies, they have the worst strength of anyone, max of 25 strength, and if things had gone my way, my elf thief would already have that. But fuzzies can get 99 dexterity, 99 intelligence, and 75 wisdom. So if you're looking for that max dexterity intelligence, then you want to go with a fuzzy. That's just Well, I mean, yeah, you get a balance this way. This is kind of how I'm trying to get a balance overall. All right, so we are going to go for a lark this time. Now, a lark can use all weapons. So once again, we're trying not to limit ourselves when it comes to weapons. Can only use cloth armor, but does have access to sorcery spells. So everybody except for my thief does have access to spells, and we should be able to get a good variety of the spells used throughout our playthrough in this setup. So now we kind of have to do what we can here. So it's going to be 5 strength, 20 dexterity. I would love to put 25 into intelligence, but they're not going to let me. So 20 intelligence and then 5 in wisdom. So I tried to specialize it where I could. Our most rounded person, I believe, is Sam, our Paladin. But, you know, I would love to have specialized that a little bit further. So is that okay? That is okay. All right, so let's examine what we have so far. We have our male human ranger, Aragorn. Our male bobbit paladin, Samwise. I'll go back and forth for him a lot. Our female elf thief, Luthien, and our other fuzzy lark, Chirpa. Okay, so let's go ahead and form the party. Player 1's going to be number 1. Player 2 is going to be number 2. Player 3 is going to be number 3. And player 4, you guessed it, number 4. And the party has been formed. Okay, so let's go to the main menu at this point. And we will journey onward. And it's time for us to actually get into the game. Finally. All right. Notice that there's no like food or any... Well, there's food. All right. As soon as I said it, I saw it. I'm like, where is it? It's on each individual person. And staying around is not going to help any. All right. So we can go in here. We can enter. And we have made it to the castle. All right. Is it talk? No. 1 left. Good day. We can transact. We can have Aragorn talk to the person to the right. Good day. All right. Transact. 1 there. Chuckles says, welcome all. 1. I'm not used to the 1. Good day. All right. So everybody just says good day. We can head up here. And here we can find Lord British. Iolo sings, Ho Ayo He Hum. Guino sings, Ma I Oi O. How you doing? Welcome, my child. Experience more. So yeah, just like kind of the first game, you can go to Lord British for your stat increases, things like that. But I think for now, we are good. And we've made it back to Sosaria. And now we can go into town. With an E, because it's old-timey town. All right, we can talk to you. Good day. Nobody seems to want to say anything all that interesting yet. All right, so we've made it to the pub. Exodus lies beyond the Silver Snake. Interesting. Duper laughs, drink up. All right. Here, friend, have a drink. It costs 7 gold pieces. You pay. Everybody has 100 to start, so I feel that we're all right giving that out just a little bit here. Let's do 7. Thank you kindly. Another? No. It's been a pleasure. All right, so there is a bit of backstory on the pub. At least there's a little bit of reading that we can do. Let's bring up the stats menu. And that way we can pause everything because I've already lost 6 food and I only have 150 to start. All right, the pub. Relax from a hard campaign to enjoy a cold draft. Bartenders hear strange rumors sometimes. A few pieces of gold may loosen a tongue. Remember, though, gossip is rarely totally truthful. Okay. there's a lot of stats for us to go through. Can I just hit space? Yeah, space goes faster. Okay, so that is the pub. Hopefully I remember to show the pictures for all that. You have anything to say? Good day. Good day. Everybody just wants to say good day. All right, the weapon store is here. Let's transact. Aragorn can do all the talking. Is this loud? I feel like it's loud. Hold on. All right. Turned it down just a hair, at least for me, because it was loud, but I don't think it's loud on your guys' end. All right, so let's see the list. Yes, we will check the list. All right, so we can buy a dagger for 5 gold pieces. Remember that everybody does start with, I believe, a dagger. Yes, everybody does have the dagger to start, so there's no reason to purchase that. You can get the sling, the mace for 30, sling for 60, axe for 125, bow for 350, and the sword for 200. Now, we don't have enough money to fully equip everybody the way that I would like, so it might be best to kind of hold off on that for now. I do want to get the 350 bow for both my ranger Aragorn and I believe my thief. Yes, the thief. I also want that for. Have anything else? You also have a two-handed sword for 250. No. Should I just buy? Just get out, exit. All right, buy, exit. You're not gonna let me out of here, are you? Quit. There we go. Okay, so yeah, that song was very loud in my ears. Okay, so we will talk again. We will have Samwise do it, direction of up, and then we will do the yes, and we want to buy a mace for him. So that was B. No, C. Mace. There we go. All right. Quit. There we go. Okay, so now we can Q. Quit and save. No, only on surface. Man, it's been a while for me. I thought, is it E for equip? No. R for ready. Yes, R for ready. Weapon will be the mace. C, there we go. All right, there we go. So that is ready for you. Now the, God, like if I do anything, it just, like the food already. I'm just trying to show things off. All right, let me find the thing here. I want to join my gold, which is J. There's so many things just to start this. Yeah, you notice that he's got, Aragorn here has a few weapons, but nothing equipped yet. Okay, join gold to Aragorn. Okay, transact. Aragorn, go ahead and talk to him. Let's go ahead and get the list, and we are going to purchase that bow for you. Okay. Now we can ready you. You can put on the bow, which I think was, no, F. And then wear, number 1, cloth. Cloth is B. You'll just never know. All right, the weapon shop, I should point out, there is a picture and all that. Buy and sell superbly handcrafted weapons. Each weapon is guaranteed not to break for 1,000 fights, or thy next of kin gets double thy purchase price back. Hooray. Okay. Let's see. You have anything to say? Good day. Now we have made it to the Armory. We'll have Aragorn. Look at that. The Armory. Buy fine armor or trade in captured booty for gold. Please note that any time thou dost sell armor or weapons, thou needst to re-equip thyself afterwards. Yeah, we sure do. Okay, so what is available for us? We have cloth for 75, Leather is 195, chain is 575, plate is 2,500. The armor is very expensive to start in this game, so I'm not interested in any of that just yet. Jeez. Okay. Can we join all of our money together to Luthien here? And then transact... no. 3 direction up. List, yes. And we want to buy the bow, but I don't think we have enough for it. Very sorry, but you haven't the gold. Right. We don't have the gold for that. I do need to wear everything on everybody. It's going to be cloth. Ready. Number 2 is the mace. Right. Ready. Number 3, the dagger, which is B. B. And then wear the cloth, which is... No, wrong one. Wear for number 3, be the cloth. 4, no. Wear, number 4, the cloth. And ready, number 4, the dagger. Okay, so we have everybody fully equipped as much as I can do right now. So let's finish exploring. Round back, you say. Let's round back. Ho ho. All right. What's around here? Now you can't see much. They limit your visibility. What you can see. Oh, you're here. Oh, who are you? Only with exotic arms can you win. Interesting. But I'm already starting to lose food. So let's continue talking to people. Good day. Waste of my time. Say something interesting. Alright, that's for Lord something British, I believe. Alright, let's head south here to De Grocer. Alright, this is for rations. The grocery, it's called normally. While the typical fare here would never be considered gourmet, the food does not spoil on long adventures. Okay, 50? What, you can't pay that? Ouch, you scum. Alright, right, I need to have the person with the money actually purchase that. Can we do 100? Thank you, come again. It's not exactly what I wanted, but I think it will do for now. Forgot that it kind of all points to one person that way. Oh, it's been a bit for me on this one, so you have to forgive me if the controls go a little bit wonky on me from time to time. But I think we are okay here. So we now have some fighting to do. I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that off screen. I thought about showing you like one battle or two, but because you just never know when that's gonna happen, it's probably best if I stop here and then kind of pick back up at the end of a fight after I'm done doing everything that I need to do. So we have our party, we're decently equipped, and now we can go out and fight as best as we can. So that is going to do it for this part of Ultima 3. I've been Baller Scoop. I've been joined as always by my new party of Aragorn, Samwise, Luthien, and Chirpa. Hope you guys have enjoyed this part. Hope you laughed. Hope you learned. Hope to see you next time when we're actually ready to do something worthwhile. Thanks for watching.